President Carter returns to Atlanta Tuesday for visits to the General Assembly and Georgia Tech. It's his third trip home in less than 2 months, home to the people who provided him with the initial support for his run for the presidency. But how would some of those same Georgians score Jimmy Carter's performance after 2 years in the White House? Join Charles Ely Monday night for a special report on the results of an exclusive News Scene Darden Research public opinion poll. Georgians evaluate the president.
TV5 News Scene, the Atlanta news team with Ken Roberts and Sharon Summers. Superstar Sports with Bill Hartman. Pam Martin with Color Radar Weather. Here's Ken Roberts.
Good evening. Roads are bad out there tonight, to put it mildly, and they won't get any better. Pam, what does it look like?
Well, Ken, as you know, there is a winter storm warning in effect for the northern half of Georgia. Right now, we have a mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and some snow falling in the Atlanta metro area, as TV5 Color Radar shows you. It's going to continue throughout the night and probably into tomorrow afternoon. So if you don't have to travel, don't get out on the road. There are already some places where you can't. Roswell Road north of Interstate 285 is closed. All roads in North Fulton County are said to be impassable. Roads in DeKalb County are in similar shape, and there have been many accidents throughout the metro area. Gwinnett and Hall County police say roads in those counties are closed to all but emergency traffic, and the bridges on I-285 and I-20 are icing over. There will be more ice on the roads and on trees and on power lines before this night is over, so be careful, and I'll have more on the weather later on.
Okay, Pam, thank you very much. 2 DeKalb County police officers were stabbed today when they tried to take a man into custody in Lithonia, Georgia. 45-year-old John Mullis was killed after he stabbed officers Steve Kelly and Buddy Jennings. Kelly was stabbed twice in the chest. Jennings stabbed once in the groin. The incident occurred at 1045 Kingsway Drive in Lithonia. The officers were trying to transport Mullis to the Georgia Regional Mental Hospital when he pulled a concealed hunting knife. Both officers were treated and released from a local hospital. 2 people were killed this morning in a train-car collision in Doraville, Georgia. John W. Clayton of Doraville and Joyce Latham from right here in Atlanta were killed when the car they were traveling in was hit by that train. That accident occurred on Georgia Highway 23 and Amwilder Road. Officials say that Clayton was trying to beat that train to an intersection when the car was struck. Mrs. Latham died on impact. Clayton died this afternoon in Shallowford Hospital. The train's engineer said that he never saw the car. Funeral services for 8-year-old Rhonda Joan Tanner were held today in Cedartown, and TV5's John Weatherford was on the scene.
The small community of Cedartown was shocked this week by the story of what had happened to little Rhonda Tanner. She had been picked up from school Tuesday afternoon by a man she apparently knew. A man who had told school officials he was picking Rhonda up because her father had been in an accident. There hadn't been any accident. The town learned of Rhonda's death Wednesday afternoon. She had been stabbed. Then came the shocking news of her uncle's arrest for allegedly committing the crime. The town was stunned and angered. Rhonda's funeral was held today, a simple half-hour service at the Southside Baptist Church in Cedartown. More than 250 family and friends crowded into the little church.
As we talked with the mother the other afternoon, and we talked about the service, she made a statement that I would like to relay to you, and that's simply this: no one can preach Rhonda's funeral. She preached it herself. We all do. As we live, we preach our own funeral. This brother and myself today are just here to share with you from God's Word some comforting words that our Lord has spoken. We can't do any funeral preaching. We're not here for that. We're here to share comfort.
It was a funeral made possible through contributions of those present and others who were not. Rhonda's life hadn't been insured, and without help from others, her parents may not have been able to pay the burial expenses. The story of the tragedy that befell Rhonda Tanner and her family doesn't end here. It began Tuesday with word of her disappearance, and Wednesday with the word of her death, and the arrest of her 24-year-old uncle, James Messer, who allegedly committed the crime. He will be arraigned Tuesday in Polk County Superior Court, but the story won't end there either. It'll take a long time for this scar to heal in Cedartown. From Southside Baptist Church in Cedartown, John Weatherford, TV5 News Scene.
Bill Hartman is next with all of today's sports highlights, including that spectacular crash that occurred at Daytona. Superstar Sports is next on News Scene.